combinations. I suspect that he's going to tighten things up a little bit.
And for Canada, Kevin Pangos, Melvin Edgem, Tommy Scrubb, Phil Scrubb and Kem Birch will be the starters. So they played 5 games here in Australia in 5 different combinations. But the big news that I mentioned, O'Shea Brissett is out. He pulled up lame after game 2 against New Zealand. He's injured and in some doubt for the World Cup. Of course, Australia and Canada in the same pool. He's been their leading scorer here. As we get underway here at Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney, and the USA working to the right of your screen, control the tip. And with a chance to open scoring as Kemba Walker picks up the dribble. Turner with it, back to Walker. Shot clock works to single digits. They were inside. Muscling up Turner with a height advantage over Edgem, couldn't complete. Look at Kemba Walker get after the loose ball, somehow took it away from Tommy Scrubb. Mitchell turned down a good shot to get Tatum a shot. He fires unsuccessfully. They crash the boards, loose ball, and look at the hustle from Team USA.
Not a good sign, not coming up with a couple of defensive boards, Canada.
Walker firing. They've missed their first 3 attempts. They've got it back again. Tatum, this wry smile on his face at the moment because they're getting good looks and just can't come up with the goods so far. And here's Mitchell firing, and eventually he breaks the drought and took their 4th shot.
It absolutely kills you. Great defense. They switched on every pick and roll in their first possession. They had 4 goes at it. You just can't give up that many shots.
Pangos with it, next to the elbow. It's firing was Kem Birch. He couldn't come up with the goods. So now Tatum hands over. He got the knockdown the first shot, and he's going to knock down the second shot as well. Donovan Mitchell has now got all 5.
Well, and with this lineup, they're playing Tatum as a 4-man. He comes down and shakes and bakes, drives, dishes, great assist for a 3.
Pangos against Walker. Birch hands over. Phil Scrubb firing, short on the rim, gets after his own rebound, but Walker was there as well. He's energised here, Kemba Walker. As Tatum comes up the floor. Penetration was good. Floater wouldn't work for him. Birch the rebound. Outlet pass for Tommy Scrubb. Got his brother Phil, the younger brother, at close quarters as well. 2 minutes played in the opening term. Pangos fires. It's off the mark. Canada none of 3 from the field, still looking for their first points. Mitchell, I left him alone. That's not a good sign. It did everything but tumble. Canada catch a break there. Canada none of 3 from the field. Worked him down low. Phil Scrubb wraparound pass. Birch from close range. Can't connect. Now a chance for Harrison Barnes. Well, takes them. I had the ball slapped out of his hands. Picked up there by Melvin Edgem. And Pangos wants to put it on the floor against Donovan Mitchell. Goes to Birch. Lost the handle. Has to retrieve it. Good job there from Phil Scrubb. Eventually, but has to use the support of his brother. Shot clock rolls to single digits here. They've missed their first 4 shots. We played almost 3 minutes, and Canada struggling to get something happening at the offensive end as Pangos finally breaks the drought.
Wasn't great execution in any of that, but still able to find a way to get a shot. The last 3 possessions, it's been a no-pass offense for Team USA, just coming down and launching.
It's Mitchell exploring. Back for Walker. Shot clock works to 5. Good hands, Melvin Edgem just dislodging the ball.
And if we take a look at Donovan Mitchell doing his work, very nice shooting technique. He's not going to die wondering. Donovan Mitchell happy to let it fly. And you talk about
Tatum slides to the floor. Mavis stepped out of court, and Canada get possession.
Talking about who actually playing the 4 spot. You've nominated Tatum. I nominated Barnes.
Well, flip of the coin, really. They've got 2 point guards, and then they've got 2, 3, 4 men, and they're going with that mobility, and then the one big fella in the middle.
3.5 minutes played, opening quarter action. Pangos. Oh, rejected! Miles Turner jumped up into the night sky and threw it out of there.
Speaking of big fella, right on cue, he throws it into the 5th row.
Well, Pangos wasn't expecting that. The athleticism was outstanding from Turner. Here's Kem Birch wheeling and dealing, can't convert, loose ball. Walker's after it. But Barnes quickly up the floor. Miles Turner joining in. Now guarded by Pangos. It's back to the elbow, feeds Miles Turner, bounces into Kem Birch, who stood his ground well. and couldn't complete it. So the USA 2 of 8 from the field at 25%. Canada will take that, but they certainly don't want to be 1 of 8 from the field themselves as Barnes goes to work. Count the 2, draws a foul chance at a 3-point play.
And Pangos he can do that. He can make those shots, but the time and place wasn't then. When you're 1 from 7, they need to get some ball movement, and that was the success of the Boomers on Saturday night. They moved people, they got good on balls, they really penalised the defence of the United States after men and ball movement.
Great read, great kick ahead pass to Barnes too, finishes around the basket.
And Barnes makes the extra, game high 6-point advantage in favour of Team USA. We played tick over 4 minutes here in this opening quarter. Oh, poor pass was picked off from Tommy Scrubb. Donovan Mitchell, he lost the handle on it though, and Tommy Scrubb brings him back. Now Pangos. Skip pass. Edgem worked inside Tatum. Help D was good. Phil Scrubb. Birch from close range over Jude. Well, it jumped out. He can't believe it. None of 4 from the field now, Kem Birch.
That's some good looks, Canada. The ball's just not dropping. And the United States so explosive and athletic down the other end. Defensive transition is going to be tested for Canada.
You're right though, Case. They've had a couple go in and out, particularly Birch, so they've really tried to penetrate. We see Walker getting in the bucket then. There's 3 or 4 opposition. But they've had some good looks.
That's it.
Canada, they just need to stay with it. We saw the USA start off like this against Australia. They're on fire. They made their first 4 shots, got momentum, but it's just about staying in the game.
Chris Middleton coming in. Geez, I love his game. He's just so smooth, shoots it extremely well. And that's what 5 years, 174 million US large for that silky smooth stroke that Chris Middleton brings to the table.
Kemba Walker misses the first free throw there.
Been very good from the free throw line, 11 of 12 in their first 3 games.
84% career-wise as well. So going to see that too often, but he gets the back end, makes the adjustment. So we played 4.5 minutes here in this opening term, and it's 9-2 Canada. Lead by 7. And Canada 1 of 9 from the field and none of 2 from long range. Just not happening for them at the moment. As Pangos draws Jaylen Brown out. Now gets a good screen from Kem Birch. Goes solo. Again, athletic rebound. Turner, though, it was dislodged by Birch, but they're coming back again, the USA. Middleton with it. Donovan Mitchell. Alley-oop play. A nice finish there coming from Miles Turner.
What a pass, though. Playing one pass ahead. Knew that was coming before he even received it, did Walker.
And they've scored 6 unanswered points here, and Kem Birch finally puts a stop to it after missing his opening 4 shots. He's on the board. Middle stages of the opening quarter. USA by 7. Donovan Mitchell with it, getting close attention from Phil Scrubb. And steps back, draws the contact. More free throws to come here for Team USA. It's 11-4, USA over Canada. Because there's very little for them to hang their hat on.
Well, Case, one thing I would be happy with is to say, well, if you're going to beat the United States, trying to keep them in the 80s is not a bad mark. And a few ticks under, well, we played 5.5 minutes and they've only got the 11. So that's a tick in that box. It's just down the other end of the floor. Missed a lot of shots that you'd expect them to make. 2 of 11, clearly that's not going to cut it. No or 2 from the 3-point line. So if they can just find a way to put the ball in the hole.
And the other thing, Drew, is the rebounding. It's 11-3 so far tonight. Only early, but they're really going to have to get a body on the opposition.
And given the fact they're 2 of 11 from the field at 18%, are you surprised that he hasn't gone to the benches yet? We're still running the starters?
Well, I think he's trying to get his rotation right. This is a very important game, but it's about what lies ahead. And most teams are only going to have an 8, maybe 8.5 man rotation. So tightening it up right now, I expected Pop to do similar, but he's been pretty liberal with moving in and out players.
No deflection from Mitchell. He doesn't like the call. He thought he'd worked it onto the hand or body of Phil Scrubb and out of court, but it's going to be a Canada ball.
I think he's right too, Case. I think that should have been a USA ball.
Pangos restarts. Full scrub. One way, back the other. Left alone, fires, can't connect. Mason Plumlee onto the floor, grabs the rebound. So the board count continues to build. USA 12, Canada 3. Mitchell got it from Brown. Gives it across now to Middleton. He's lost the handle under pressure. Chance for Canada, and Middleton sliding in is going to be called for the foul. It's the first foul on Team USA. Canada has 3 so far.
And Canada's looking a lot tighter on some of these open looks than they did against Australia and New Zealand. They were just money in that department as soon as they got open. They've done a good job to get back and cause that turnover, though.
Certainly have. And Andrew Newhart, he's just come on, number 11. Really liked him in game 1 against Australia. A young man, still only 19 years of age, playing collegiate basketball at Florida.
Yeah, had 12 and 10 in that opening game against Australia when they defeated the Boomers by 20. Had 17 in game 1 against New Zealand as well. He's been very impressive. Of course, he was injured in the opening quarter of that second game of the New Zealand series, which they won in overtime, so we didn't see a lot of him, but he is back out there. And also as well, we saw Kaiser Kajami Keem was injured in the first game against New Zealand in that second quarter. Well, he's going to be suiting up and playing tonight as well.
Speaking to some of the coaches, Nembhard, word is that he's on a lot of draft boards as well, so he's highly regarded.
Pangos, hands over, on cue. Nembhard with it. We've got Plumlee looking a little nervous at the moment. Tries to shake and bake, and the step back.
He's not shy.
It wasn't pretty. Couldn't get it over the front of the rim, and Middleton leads the charge, grabs the rebound. Marcus Smart onto the floor as well. They got a mismatch, Plumlee. Well, here's Joe Harris elevating and coming up with a miss. His opening salvo. Nembhard with it now. Edgem wide open, and he drills the 3. The first success from long range for Canada.
Well, they were due. 2 for 13 from the field before that trifecta. And they're going to need to make shots, no doubt about it. 7 points at this stage of the game simply isn't enough.
Middleton gives it up. Marcus Smart goes back down low. Jaylen Brown a little out of control there. That was good hustle from Canada.
Well, and we see this in transition. Really good trail into that 3. Lots of momentum. The thing that Canada's done well to keep them into the game is they've forced 5 turnovers for the United States. Pop will not be happy with that many with 3 minutes to go on the first term.
Edgem did a great job there reading that and coming down for the double team. Great defense by Canada.
Big screen from Klassen as well there. As Pangos gets some treatment from Marcus Smart. Goes on with a dribble down to the baseline. Can't complete it. Now Klassen just getting into the back of Marcus Smart there is called for the foul. Going to be the 4th team foul on Canada in this term, and they're all individual as Klassen gets his first. So you're going to have to be a little less aggressive now inside the last 3 minutes of this first term. USA by 5. Margin has been as big as 9. Scored the first 5 of the game. And Jaylen Brown forced into a tough shot, but it's all the bottom of the net as he opens his scoring account. Nembhard gets it back from Klassen. 2.5 to play in the opening term. Whistle on the play. No continuation there as Nembhard knocks down the shot.
Both teams really focusing on a lot of penetration, one-on-one action. It's been a bit of man and ball movement, but most of the scoring opportunities are coming from one-on-one action, attacking the rim, coming off the bounce.
Brady Haslett checks into the game to relieve Pangos. Haslett, first game here. He played in every game of the qualifying series, the only Canadian player to do that in all 12 games, but had personal reasons to just be a late starter here on the Australian leg of their pre-World Cup tour. He's here now, and Jaylen Brown's here, and now as well as he knocks down the 2 and draws a foul. That's exciting to watch.
Well, he got a little lost on his steps there. Great effort to be able to draw that foul and still knock it down, but same with the play before. As we see him in transition now, I think Klassen between him and the bucket.
Didn't do a lot wrong. It was just the hands at the end. I think that when he brings those arms down, gets called for a little sneaky one.
So the margin into double figures. Tick over 2 minutes out from quarter time. Pressure up the floor as well. And Klassen drags it across halfway, picks up the dribble. Now needs the help of Kyle Wiltshire. Nemhart. Good screen from Klassen. Goes on with the dribble. Feeds Klassen, who works inside Plumlee. Knocks over the D there from Marcus Smart, but couldn't finish it. So the shooting woes continue. They're 3 of 17. As Mason Plumlee there is running out of real estate.
Do we not have flop warnings in FIBA?
No, we do.
Surely that was a flop.
Well, I think there was contact and a collision. Whether
You think that contact made him fall down?
Well, I've seen a lot worse, put it that way.
Both Andrew Gaze and Shane Hill know this territory pretty well here at Kudos Bank Arena. Having both played for Australia here at the Olympics and also plied their trade with the Sydney Kings as a coach and a player. But at the moment, Canada having all sorts of problems at the offensive end. Just 7 points so far. Edgem looks to try and improve that. Can't do so. Rebound falls to Joe Harris. 17 rebounds to 4. The USA are killing Canada on the boards at the moment. Barnes, quick first step. Klassen did well to stay with him. Contact, no whistle. And a chance now for Canada as Nemhard brings them forward. Edgem rolls to the hoop. Haslip. Wiltshire, Klassen down low with a height advantage here on Jaylen Brown. Likes his chances. Rattle around to the rim, but wouldn't go. There's 3 field goals from 19 attempts. And at the other end, firing quickly, Middleton is off the mark. So inside the last minute of play here, term number 1 from Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney. Team USA with a double-figure lead. As Nemhard looks to make something happen and does. Nice way for him to open his scoring account.
Great class, used his body well, and come off the 2 feet. Very, very nice move by the young fella. Poise.
5 fouls on Canada already in this quarter. Can't afford another one here. And firing Chris Middleton. Can't complete it. Wiltshire gets after the rebound and now hands over to Andrew Nemhard.
Fair to say, neither team is in really medal-winning form.
You would say that, Andrew. I think you're right. 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, which now rolls to single digits. Nemhard out of the top of the key by Middleton. Haslip, his pass had too much on it for Klassen. Canada turn it over for the 2nd time in the game. The US has 6 turnovers already. Kemba Walker's going to check back in for the last play on term number 1. And we're also going to see Tommy Scrubb for Canada return. First time tonight, it's Kazar Kajami Keane. He's had a good series here in Australia. They had double-figure points against Australia in both games in Perth, and then had 8 before half-time in game 1 against New Zealand before he was injured. So Kemba Walker with it. 8-point edge for the USA. Walker steps through the traffic, knocks down the shot and draws a foul. He's a genius.
I can't believe where they picked him up from. They allowed him to get ahead of steam against the Canadian guards. Have a look at this. This is in the front court already, so very difficult to stay in front of somebody like this. And it was like he lost control and then just flipped it up with a little tip to himself.
Whenever he gets ahead of steam, he gets downhill. Very, very tough to guard, and I'm with you. With such little time on, trying to put some heat on the ball, and just the fumble did him a favour, I think, in the end, and got a little lucky and flipped it in.
So a chance to extend the margin, and does that, just that. So it's an 11-point lead. Not a lot of time here, Nemhard. That's after the event. But the opening quarter on is well and truly with the USA. They've restricted Canada to their lowest scoring quarter in a week here in Australia. Quarter time from Kudos Bank Arena. It's the USA 20, Canada 9. We'll have more in just a moment.
They look tight to me. I think things will loosen up and they'll start to put some points on the board in this 2nd quarter.
And have a look at this, Hammer. We're talking about perhaps zone defences, and it might be a head fake but United States coming out and certainly showing zone on the inbounds.
Canada with a possession arrow to get us underway. Term number 2 in the last game ahead of the FIBA 2019 World Cup in China. Canada and Australia play in the opening pool game. And look at Nemhard taking on Kemba Walker. Enjoyed the contest. Can't finish it though, but the ball came back to him outside. This is Haslip. It's 45% from deep in the qualifying games. but unable to knock that down there. And Kemba Walker, 4 points in that opening quarter, comes forward, feeds Barnes outside. Harris, penetration from Harris off glass. He comes up with the 2, his first score in the game.
Just a bit of bully ball there. Put the ball to the floor, get to the cup and make something happen. Great move by Harris.
He deboed him.
This is a chance now for Phil Scrubb. Again, shots just not falling for Team Canada. Nembhard, Wiltshire from well outside the 3-point line. Can't complete it. And an offensive foul is going to be called, or Joe Harris will pick up the foul. What was it? It was Harrison Barnes, in fact, as he knocked down Phil Scrubb.
They just cannot find a way to pick up some cheap baskets. 4 of 24 now.
They've had good looks too.
Real good looks. Wiltshire is a very, very good perimeter shooter. Feet were set, wide open, just can't put the ball in the hole.
And looks we've seen them make in Australia against both New Zealand and Australia time and time again.
And a real strange atmosphere with an audience just coming to be entertained, and I'm not sure who they supporting.
Almost full house though.
Like 18,000
Nembhard.
theatre goers.
Can't complete it. So the woes continue. They're 1 of 7 from deep. USA. Well, no shot. Good D recovery there. It came from Haslip, but eventually they find the open man, Jaylen Brown.
Harris just on the board, through Haslip to the ground.
Second foul then on Joe Harris, and he'll sit down. Jason Tatum checks back in. We're going to see Donovan Mitchell come back as well to relieve Jaylen Brown.
Tango's back in, and 1 for 6 in that first quarter from him. He's been impressive in his time in Australia, so we expect him to start putting some points on the board. And he's had a chance to be able to sit down, have a look at the start of this second quarter.
Pango's hands over. Kem Birch working on Turner outside. Wiltshire down to the baseline. Tough. Oh, Turner got a piece of it, but it tumbles. Will count the 2, and Wiltshire opens his scoring account.
And that's a good take. You have to close him out hard. His specialty is the 3-point shot. So they did exactly that. Quick pull through and got it on the board before the USA had a chance to be able to block him.
Tatum. Penetration to the foul line. Can't convert. Loose ball. Wiltshire just worried out of it there by the athleticism of Miles Turner, who just stayed with it and did enough to force the error.
With the shooting woes Canada are having, I think, although they trail it by 11, that really this game could have been well and truly out of reach. So they're doing a decent job on the defensive end.
Elevation came from Mitchell. He's off the mark. Pangos gets it from Birch. Well, they left him at the top of the key. He can't make them pay, though. Loose ball. Tatum after it. Certainly seen a contrast here from the USA from the 2 games against Australia, where they were very happy to shoot from outside. Oh, Walker has coughed it up here. Smile on his face, but Kango's look away. Pass from Pangos and rush into the hoop. The points out it there by Phil Scrubb, and he gets his first points. Timeout called. 7:47 left on the clock here, and it's a 9-point
Question before we went on air and said, well, back in our era, who would we be sending? It'd be interesting to get your thoughts at some stage.
Well, I want to go myself. I'll count myself in, and I reckon you'd have cracked 2. The value of the 3 ball.
Very physical game, though, Hammer.
Yeah, we like that.
Well, perhaps wasn't my strength, but
That's why we've got 4 players.
Well, Canada just starting to grab some momentum here. They've scored the last 4. So we played a tick over 2 minutes in this second quarter. It's the USA by 9. We started this term with the US leading by 11. The point I was going to make, though, in the 2 games against Australia, almost half the shots the USA took in the first half in both games, half the shots were from beyond the 3-point line. At the moment, just 6 of their 21 have been taken from beyond the perimeter. So they're making it penetration more of the key, and Mitchell does it on cue, and the ball away, all the bottom of the net. Mitchell adds another 2. So he's got 8 in the game to lead all scorers. Marching back to where we started this term at 11. Phil Scrubb went for the passing lane. Birch did well to get that back from Jason Tatum. Pangos in a mismatch now against Turner. Walker late in arriving, but got there quickly enough to disrupt the shot. Now Donovan Mitchell. Walker, down low, Tatum muscles his way in the low block. Nice spin move as well, and strength as he comes up with the two.
You talk about shot selection. When you're 1 of 7, Pangos is an elite scorer. He can create off the dribble, create his own shot, but these last couple of threes have been real tough ones, particularly when your numbers aren't that great.
Here's Haslett, penetration, floater from him off the front of the rim, loose ball. Turner got a piece of it. Came to Mitchell, now Kemba Walker with it, skipping up the floor. Mitchell can't complete it. And Turner flying for the rebound. But only succeeded in knocking it down out of court. Canada will restart, but not before Jaylen Brown checks back in, relieving Harrison Barnes.
Each team will go through it and they'll look at how other teams play, and Canada relying very, very heavily on the penetration and the on-ball screen. But when you look at the success that Australia had, is finding that balance between the on-ball action and the away-from-ball action, the cutting, the screening off the ball, just as important as what's happening with the ball.
Well, no, and I think it's a good point, Drewy. And the American players would be used to being able to defend this many on-ball screens.
Correct.
They are not used to playing the international basketball and defending ball and player movement like Australia did so well, particularly in Game 2, and they exposed them. And to put that many points on the board surprised me that Australia is getting more than 90 points against this USA team.
Phil Scrubb found some space down the low block, tip in, and Turner. It's in the cylinder, according to Michael Aylen.
Good call, I think. That's one of the tough ones, because once it hits the rim, you're allowed to hit it. But if it's below the rim, actually in the basket, that's when you're not allowed to touch it. Now, whether that ball actually did go below, that might be the arguable point, but that's technically the rule.
Michael Aylen with the explanation there for Coach Popovich. Shot clock works to 10 here. We've played 4 minutes in the second term. Canada down 11. They've got some defending to do here. Tatum. Oh, Turner from close range. Adds another 2 to his tally.
He's got 7 boards tonight, Case. Been very active. Look at that on the defensive end as well.
One of my favourite players in this outfit, the way he goes about it, just picks up the bits and pieces, Hammer.
Well, they don't have a lot of depth in the front court,
No.
particularly in that 5 spot, so he's going to carry a big burden come the World Cup for not only minutes, but what he's going to be able to provide, both at the defensive end and on the boards, but also being able to chip in around this all-star backcourt.
Double-figure scoring in both games against Australia, Turner. 15 and 14 boards in their Game 1 win. Pangos gets the reply he was after missing 4 consecutive three-point attempts, and the margin cut to 10.
When they got that by ball movement, exactly what we're talking about. Made some great extra passes, and that's how Pangos can get himself into the game. And now we've seen one go through the net. He's the sort of player you would expect to string a couple together.
Mitchell hands over. This is Jaylen Brown firing over Pangos. Can't complete it. Gets his own rebound. Stayed with it. Disrupted the shot, Ken Birch, but he got another opportunity, and eventually Jaylen Brown came up with a finish.
Just too many offensive rebounds. They're up to 6 now.
Margin at 12. Middle stages of this second term. Pangos. Nazar Kajami keen with it now. Looks for the penetration against Tatum. Down to the baseline. Overcooked the shot. Turner the rebound. Number 9 for him already in the game. Canada has 13 as a team, to put that into context.
Wow. It was a good effort, staying in the play there and being able to come back. Thought he might have got that clean.
Miles Turner will get a rest and sits down. Likewise, Donovan Mitchell gets a break. Mason Plumlee checks in. Marcus Smart is back. 4.5 on the clock until half-time. Had 9 in the opening quarter, Canada. They got 9 already here in the second. And Marcus Smart, one way, back the other. Screen from Tatum, rolling to the hoop there, Plumlee. He hasn't been able to get into the game, certainly in the 2 games against Australia, Mason Plumlee.
Well, it was a poor pass from Smart. He tried to hit Plumlee, who was rolling the basket. But Tatum was wide open at the top of the key. His man was back creating a crowd against Plumlee. He would have had a wide open 3.
Wiltshire tried to get away from the D of Jaylen Brown, but his recovery was excellent. This is Phil Scrubb, the younger of the two brothers. He fires. He was backpedaling straight away as he knocks down the shot.
He's got that unorthodox sort of game. Not a great athlete, but a good player. Knows how to put points on the board. We've seen it against New Zealand.
Inside 4 minutes to play. Term number 2, Tatum. The pass for Plumlee was knocked down.
9 turnovers now, Case.
Woeful. Where's Phil Scrubb feeling it? Lap of Von Klassen got the offensive board and the putback draws a foul. That's good, heavy work from Owen Klassen.
Great play from Klassen. I was going to say, Plumlee on the court. He's not going to provide a whole lot of offense, so you better play some defense, block out and rebound, or you'll find yourself back on the bench very quickly, I would have thought, from Pop.
That's right, and I think the turnovers are the real big issue for the United States team. They had 23 in the game against Spain before they came to Australia, and now, like we mentioned, already up to 9. That's really kept Canada alive in this one.
Well, incredible to think that they've got 23 points at 27%, and they're only down 7.
Tatum athletically takes on Klassen, who can be foul prone, and that's going to be his 3rd personal. So with 3:28 left on the clock here until half-time. And we're going to see Derek White check in for the first time. There's the plaster above the left eye. I spoke with him pre-game. 4 stitches he's had put in that cut when he stumbled in Melbourne and slammed his head into the floor.
Wow. That's a good look.
Kyle Kuzma, now he's actually made it. He was the one I thought might miss out on the eventual squad, but with Kuzma rolling his ankle, he's been...
That's a blow, Drewy.
That is a huge blow.
He has been impressive. I think they really needed what he was providing, not only from the three-point line, but his ability to be that mobile 3-4. Good size, good athleticism, and defend, put points on the board. He was a perfect complement to this USA team.
For sure. They're going to miss him shooting the ball exceptionally well in the couple of games he played in.
Averaged 17 and 6 boards for the Lakers last season. Here's Wiltshire, fall away, can't complete it. Aaron Best, undersized, but did well there to keep it alive. And the foul's going to be called on Joe Harris. It's going to be his 3rd personal as well.
Best is a bull. He plays like it on the offensive end. He plays like it on D.
Looks
A few little scuffles.
Yeah, looks real blue collar. Battles away on the boards. Picked up one there in the bonus. Goes to the line to shoot a couple.
So Aaron Best at 20 against New Zealand in game 1 and was everywhere. It was really impressive. Plays in Germany. Making things happen here in limited minutes as we head toward half-time. Took over 3 minutes remain here. And Canada trailing by just 7, shooting the ball at 26%. So here's Derek White with it. Guarded by Best. Picks up the dribble. Mitchell against Kajami Keane. Shot clock works now to 6. And the shot comes and it's knocked down there by Jaylen Brown. He's got double figures and leads all scorers.
Breakdown of the defense there. Lack of communication. Looked like they were trying to switch, and if you don't switch, someone's going to be open.
Wiltshire hands over. Hazar Kajami Keane was well outside the 3-line, but it doesn't matter. He opens his scoring account in style.
Well, this is what we expected from the start. Bang, bang, good read from Donovan Mitchell. Realises that one of the Canadians has gone down. There's an open man. Bang.
Kajami Keane there just didn't switch.
Derek White works the ball now to Middleton. He wanted Mitchell, ball battered down by Aaron Best, and the shot clock works to 5 here for Middleton. He elevates, can't complete it. Middleton now none of 3 from the field yet to score in the game, and Aaron Best is quickly up the floor here. Wiltshire, he fires over the top of Derek White and comes up with the finishing touches.
Look at the lineup the United States have on the floor. They've got 5 perimeter guys all on the floor at the same time, so really no stereotypical 4 or 5 man.
Margin cut to 5 here. And the penetration was good. Foul call on Edgem as Jaylen Brown continues to lead them a merry dance.
And when you do have so many great shooters, the floor spread takes the player off the dribble, help's not there, and creates a very good scoring opportunity.
Timeout called. USA up 7. Well, in game 1 against Australia, USA had 17 three-point attempts at halftime, and in game 2 they had again 17, and at the moment they've got half that.
But that's symbolic of the team that they've brought to the World Cup. They've got a lot of shooters right throughout the lineup. Even when you go big, Brook Lopez, he's not bashful of throwing up the odd trifecta himself. He's become very, very efficient. So I think it's by design, those numbers, not by accident, that we're seeing those three-point attempts by Team USA.
Derek White checks out. Kemba Walker comes back as we head toward half-time. Walker with 4 points at the moment. This man, Jaylen Brown, is the one who's leading all scorers. 13 now for him, including 5 of 8 from the field. So the margin back to 8. It's been as big as 13. It was at 5 just 20 seconds ago. Edgem hands over. Kajami King. Oh, they stood off him. His shot is off the mark, though. Loose ball. And getting after it is Chris Middleton.
Really nice set coming out of the timeout by Canada there. We did see some good player movement, but when you got Donovan Mitchell that puts the ball to the deck, gets to the cup, that is too easy.
Back-to-back baskets for the USA. They double the advantage out to double figures again once more. Jamie King shares it with Best. Shot clock works to 10 for Canada. Picks up the dribble. Oh, get it inside. Poor pass. Donovan Mitchell, who's falling out of court off balance. Tried to work it out of court off Phil Scrubb. There was a wake to it. Best got a good look, the left-hander. Couldn't knock it down, though. And now Chris Middleton reaching in. Best is going to be called for the foul. So going to be the 4th team foul on Canada in this term. USA already over the limit.
Good foul by Best, recognising they still have one to give in this second quarter.
Not sure whatever happened to the emphasis on stopping the transition in those fouls. Came from the side, didn't have a good defensive position. In international basketball the last 12 months, we've seen that heading to the line to shoot a couple.
You're off to China for the World Cup, Andrew. It'll be interesting to see how that is officiated there. But the whole series here is that we've seen right back to Perth a week ago. They've let that go.
I'll be seeking clarification.
Here's Walker. Walker close to the hoop, comes up with the 2. Will you get a chance to look at the Australians when you're in China?
Unfortunately, not in the group stages, because I'll be commentating in the group that they'll play against if they get through. France, Germany, done some research on them, and if they do get through, they're going to have a very, very tough round of 16 matchup.
Well, that's it. They're going to play Canada first up, and as we mentioned at the top of the show, O'Shea Brissett out and may not be there at the World Cup. Is a huge advantage for Australia. Foul was called there on Jaylen Brown. They're over the limit, so free throws to come here for Kem Birch.
Who's it look like that Australia will cross over and play against, Drewy?
If they get through, it'll be either France or Germany, and both those teams are tough, and a lot of people a bit down on Germany, but no, they've got 5 NBA players on their roster. They are going to be really, really tough. So they open the tournament against each other. So whoever wins that one, you'd suspect that they'll get through. Dominican Republic and Jordan are the other 2 teams in that pool.
The timeout called here, less than 30 seconds out from halftime. Margin has been hovering around the 11 mark. That's where we started this term. Canada got it back to within 5, but right now the USA just doing enough, but they've racked up the fouls here in this term with its performance to beat the USA. It was an exhibition game, and both teams, I'm not just saying the USA, but both teams weren't completely at full throttle. And the trouble is in tournament play, that first game, if you drop that, well, all of a sudden the pressure, it's starting to mount.
My word.
You know that better than I.
Foul call.
Yeah, over the limit too, so
Edgem.
free throws to come.
And that would be frustrating. Just trying to extend the defense, knowing that perhaps the United States was going to work the clock down, use the entire shot clock to make it difficult for Canada to get another good look on the offensive end. They gambled, and that time it didn't pay off. But I'll tell you what else is another thing when I was thinking about this game and the United States team. For the first time, really, since the 1998 World Cup, United States won't have the best player in the tournament. And I can't remember a international tournament. That was only because of the lockout, and they didn't send their NBA players in Greece in 1998. Giannis Antetokounmpo would be holding that status, and a few others would probably challenge some of the guys in this USA team.
It is wide open, the World Cup. And Australia just beating the USA. Well, they're right in the mix. So USA getting to the stripe here. 10 of 12 in the first half. Canada 4 of 5. The shot clock 3 seconds inside the game clock as we head toward the major break. And Pango's just to milk it at the moment against Marcus Smart. Tried to split a couple of defenders. Smart gets after it. Needs help. The pass for Donovan Mitchell was knocked down by Phil Scrubb. Mitchell, he's got Middleton in support. Elliott play! Oh, the first half comes alive right on the halftime buzzer as Donovan Mitchell climbs upstairs and shows them a whole bag of tricks.
Fantastic way to finish the